Today is Wednesday, March 30th, March 3rd. 39-week test review. We'll start reviewing for your 9-week test today. 9-week test will be on next week. Right now, I don't know the exact schedule, but it'll most likely be on the day you report on campus. All right, if your internet is working, go ahead and open your document using Canvas. And we say using Canvas because Canvas allows you to type on it as well as to write on it. It is in the typical place in Schoology in this week's folder. One says part one, other part say part two. So this is our first day. Common sense will say click on part what? Oh, okay. All right, it also tells us the second bullet, every problem should have what? Or explanation. I told you all year, I don't look at it. I do not. Rule of thumb I was always given. Teacher right, common sense will tell me to do it. Oh, okay. If I ask a question and don't nobody understand or can't nobody tell us now, that means everybody's pencil should be moving. All right, the third thing tells us that everybody can be participating. This is the point of the year where everybody can participate to try to get a participation grade. You can do that through reading a question. Everybody should know how to read because you're in 8th grade, 7th grade. Knowing the key words in the question. Everybody can tell us at least what's important or what looks like it's important. Giving us a strategy that can be used. If I don't know how to solve it, I may know a list something to help me solve it. Or explaining how to solve the problem. Either or. So that means now's the chance for everybody to get a participation grade. So if I leave 39 weeks and I don't get a math participation grade, I kind of know why. And some of you haven't said nothing all 9 weeks. So, and then at the bottom, I gave you another reminder that all your assignments are due by next Friday, March 12th. We've been saying that for about 3 weeks. Some of you came on last Friday and did some makeup remediation. We'll most likely be doing it this Friday as well. If you would like to know what you missing specifically for math, send me an email or let me know before you leave and I'll let you know on tomorrow. But I do know that some of you have not submitted too much of anything. So, we got work to do. Cedric, do you want to know? All right, paper and pencil. Okay. I'll tell you, Mom. Me too. All right, so if your internet open not, paper pencil, number one. This chance everybody can participate, either by reading, telling us important, telling us something we can do, or helping us solve it. All right, we up. Ooh, that's a short question. I'm gonna make sure I read to get participation points. Thank you, ma'am. What we know about number lines? Modeling. How I know my directions? What direction tell me what? Speak up. Why 12 left? It's negative. Okay, that's what we looking for. Go 12 left because it's negative. So that means that's the first thing I'm looking at. Thank you, Zyla and tonight. So I'm gonna look and see who started at 0 and went over to negative 12. That's the first thing I'm looking at. If I don't see it at negative 12, we're gonna eliminate it from the beginning. Is there any we can eliminate right now? C, somebody said B. Good. Now what we doing? It now say plus 16. She over here mumbling. 16 to the right. Notice what they count by. What do they count by? Fours. So 4 times what is 16? So I need to do 4 hops and see if I'm where I need to be. We only got 2 left, A and D. Why you say D? Yeah, on A, they tried to get to 16. I'm trying to get you to understand that just because we got negative 12 plus 16, I don't have to get to both of them. I go where I'm starting at. I love how you know that I'm going to go left and then I'm going to go right. So definitely make sure we follow that process to get what we need. D will be the correct answer. Any questions about it? So this will mean it didn't have work to it, but it got a what? It got a short explanation. Go 12 left, go 16 right. Anybody still need something? Okay. All right, number 2. On the is 7.5%. What is the total cost of the lunch? All right, somebody tell us something. All right, so he read it. Somebody give us some key words. What before tax? Okay.
$12 before tax. 7.5%.
So my bill, they told me what my tax is, and now I need my total cost. What do I need to do? And that ain't telling me nothing. What we need to do? Change percent to a decimal by shifting that decimal 2 places to the left. So if I shift that decimal 2 places to the left, fill in missing place with placeholders, what do I get? Good job. 0.75. 0.075. That's it. All right, when we talk percents had 2 steps. What's the first step? We did that.
Multiply.
All right, multiply by original cost. What was the original cost? So take that 0.75.
$12.
12. You sure 9?
0.9.
0.9 and telling me 9. Those are 2 different numbers. All right, so this how much tax I have. So now how do I get my total? Tax is something that's added to that original cost. So then I'm going to come back and I'm going to add it. So then what's 12 plus my 90-cent tax?
$12.90.
$12.90. Any questions about it? Cents, about 3 steps. Change that percent to a decimal, multiply it by your original cost, and then we either add or subtract it. Taxes are always added. All right, number 3.
Yeah.
All right, she ready. I mean, somebody
Divide.
or you can tell us what we
Divide
doing.
it.
Good job, Kennedy. What are we dividing? Divide 3 by 8 or that numerator by
Negative
denominator?
3/8.
What you got?
Negative 0.375.
Remember I said work on explanation. That means whatever you typing, tell us what you typing. You tapping in that calculator. Any questions about it? Yes, no, maybe? All right. Anybody still need anything? Okay. So far, so good. All right, number 4.
Which expression is equivalent to negative 10W minus 15.5?
What's going on? I hear 2 of them. What you saying? Was that you? That was you? What you saying?
You gotta find an equivalent expression
How we gonna do that?
You gotta multiply negative 5 by negative 3.
Okay, at least we know multiply. So we're gonna say what it is. That's a distributive property. And she said we will multiply the number on the outside by everything on the inside. And I'm putting that up there because with the distributive property, what I'm finding, some of you will do the first step. You will multiply the first digits in the parentheses, but then you don't multiply that second digit. So let's start with looking at A. What's negative 5 times 2W? Good job, negative 10W.
Negative 10.
And then what's negative 5 times negative 15.5?
Negative 20.5.
I think you can. Multiply. Negative 5 times negative 15.5. Negative 77.5. It actually should have been positive because a negative and negative is a positive. All right, so then try B. Negative 5 times 2W. We already said would be negative 10W. Negative 5 times 3.1. Negative 15.5.
Negative 15.5.
So notice, as I stated in the beginning, we multiply that first digit, but we don't multiply it by the second. So if you need to do hops like I use hops to make sure I multiply everything by that number on the outside, please do so. All right, number 5. Good job. They said a 1/8 chance of landing on pink and look like they giving us keywords. We did probability last week and this week. Anybody remember what these keywords meant? Okay, between 1/2 and a whole, and then you said unlikely is between 0.5, and then the 5th one is equally likely, meaning we are at a half. 5 keywords we talked about with probability that we describe probability. You don't know those 5, definitely get them down. All right, so then I need to look at 1/8 and I need to ask myself, what category would it fall between? If I'm confused, write it as a decimal. What you say? Okay. Unlikely, why you say unlikely? Good job. It's less than a half, but it's not at 0. I like it. So it will be unlikely. Good. Any questions about these two questions? Anybody still need something? Okay, let me know you finish it.
I'm done.
All right, anybody else? Okay. All right, number 6.
What is the approximate area of the playground? Use 3.14 area of approximation of half.
Zakai, got your name right. I'm learning. Good job, thank you, Pam. All right, so Zakai ran it to us. Somebody tell us something.
Combine like terms.
You on wheel? Come up, Destiny. All right, what's important? And the shape, that's a circle. And they want us to find the area. So how do we find the area of a circle? All right, you forgot. Area of a circle is equal to pi times r squared. You don't have to remember formulas. Formulas will be provided to you. And if it was provided to you, it'll look something like that. Pi times r squared. You remember that? All right, so they told us to use 3.14 as pi. The second part of that formula talks about the radius. Did they give us the radius? What's the connection between diameter and radius? Good job. Radius is half of the diameter. So if our diameter is 2, that means our radius is what? All right, so now we have 1 squared. That means multiply. What is 1 squared? 1. That's what multiply 1 times 1. That's what the square means. And 1 times 3.14. Good job. What you say? Yeah. I think all math easy, but I may be biased since I'm a math person. All right, number 7 said which expression is equivalent. Destiny told us combine like terms. Before we combine like terms, we got parentheses. What can we do with those parentheses? Can I just drop them? Okay, if a positive sign in the front, I can drop it. If negative sign, I can drop and change everything on the inside to the opposite. I never combine like terms and I got a whole lot of parentheses and stuff. So I'm always ask myself, okay, I first need to get rid of the parentheses. So looking at that first parentheses, is there anything in front of it? Nope, it's positive, so I'm gonna just drop it as we said. Negative 4p plus 2. Second parentheses, something in front of it? It's a negative. So that means everything on the inside changed to the opposite. So 7p is now what? Negative 5 is now. Good job. Guess Nicole will combine like terms. What would be considered like terms? They negative. So what is
4P and 7.
and what is negative 7P? Good job, negative 11P. Same sign, add, keep the sign. All right, any other like terms? Good job, 5 and 2 are considered like terms because they are both constant. 2 plus 5?
7.
Will be the correct answer. Good job. So make sure we're not just dropping that parentheses, especially if it's a negative in the front. Because some of us have a habit, we'll just drop it and we would add -4 plus 7 and we'll have a positive 3. Any questions about it? Anyone still need anything? All right, good job. All right, this one had a part A and a part B. I'm gonna kind of make it small to fit everything, if that's okay with you. Still missing something. All right, so use information for these two problems. The spinner is divided into 4 equal sections. All right, somebody read 8 tools. It said green 10 times out of 60. Which statement is true? And looking at these statements, I see that they're talking about the expected. So that would be finding the theoretical probability. Theoretical probability. So first, let's see what we notice about green. How many times we see green in that spinner? Out of how many total? Good job. How many total times did they spin that spinner? 60. 60 is going to be our denominator. So we are now trying to prove should they have gotten 10. So 4 times what is 60? All right. Equivalent fractions. 1 times 15. All right. So this is what they should have got. This is what's expected. Should have got 15, but we got how many? 10. Which ones can I eliminate? C and D. So then I need to ask myself, is it more than or is it less than?
More than.
All right, somebody said more than expected. All right, now this is what we got. This is what's expected. So you're saying 10 is 5 more than 15? So instead of 5 more than expected, we need 5 less. B would be the correct answer, 5 less. You put the wheel to mess this up. And then you get yours. She gave you stuff, baby. Over here and mess this up. I dropped you. She should have just said, Lord, I can't send them around and say, get one and go. Everywhere. Aaliyah, thank you. Somebody missing. Who missing this? She did the last one. She was over this stuff. All right. Somebody read 9 to us.
We must speak time which is the most original of the number of times spin around on red or yellow.
Red or yellow? How many times can I get red or yellow now? Red or yellow? I don't look at that up here. All right, and then they told us 360 times. That's going to be our denominator. 4 times what is 360? Good job. So then 2
90.
times. That's the 180. Any questions about it? Everybody got what you need? All right. Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. All right, this is a skill that just wants us to remember that subtraction is the same as adding the opposite. And the name pretty much implies what it does. A lot of y'all be trying to solve these types of problems. So the first fraction remains the same. We would change subtraction to addition. And then we would take the reciprocal. I ain't gonna say reciprocal. I'm gonna say the opposite of the second fraction. That's skill that go back to the first week of school. Subtraction is the same as adding the opposite. All right, so first thing we said, the first fraction remains the same. Which ones can I eliminate because that first fraction is different? Good job.
A and B.
They changed it to negative. We don't need negative. All right, we said that subtraction would change to a. Good job. And then what happens to the second one? So if I had 3/8, it's now. Good job. That's all that question wants, to understand that you know subtraction is the same as adding the opposite. And that's a question that a lot of us would fail. Nothing to solve, just to recognize the meaning. And then when I previously taught it, I reminded us that anytime I have 2 signs in the middle, that positive and negative will change to a negative, and then I can rewrite that and I still get the same thing. I said, you know, these little tricks with math, you'll be all right. Any questions about it? Everybody got what you need? All right, 11.
When class project using the screen divided for 30 seconds and time.
All right, drop down to the bottom under the picture.
If the teacher spends the students to assign the first student to a report, what is the possibility the student will be assigned to study the rules of football?
Somebody say something. What's your rationale? Huh? Well, you get 1/3.
He could spend one time football, one time out of soccer and baseball.
You got the friends who didn't know why you're saying 1/3. So we got 3 separate pieces, and then we got football on that thing one time, 1/3. Any questions about it? These are probability questions. We shouldn't get incorrect. Just look closely at what we have. All right, 12.
Financial advisor puts 1/10 of our income into a savings account and puts the rest into a checking account. The table shows the financial advisor current income is used.
And they want to know which statement is true. So then if I look at these answer choices, I recognize they talking about something he put in the savings account and then what's going in the regular account. All right, looking at this chart, I see he got a check, he got some money from a rental property, and he got an art sale. Before I can figure out how much he put into this savings account, what do I need to do?
Add them all up.
All right, add them all up. Huh? All right, I hear 82,400. All right, they said we're putting 1/10 in a savings account. What we doing now? All right, mean to multiply. So we're gonna take that and multiply by 1/10. Or in other words, we change to 82,400 being divided by 10. All right, so that means 8,240 going into the savings account. C would be the correct answer. Any questions about it? I hope I didn't move too fast. All right, number 13.
Molly earned $15.50 per hour and worked 72 hours per week. Will earned $30 per hour and worked 28 hours per week. What do you think is
All right, so if I look at these statements, look like they multiplied them out and did some subtraction. So let us multiply them out. See how much money Molly made and then how much money Willie made. All right, I hear 496. Somebody verify. Okay. All right, 540 and 40 cents. All right, who make more money? Willie. So that means Willie's stuff need to be in the front. So what can I eliminate? A and B.
A and B.
Willie costs the most, so that means he is going to be doing a subtraction. All right, so then they subtracted the value. So go ahead and subtract.
D.
Good job. Any questions about it? Most importantly, I need you to see how these questions are working. Y'all be just clicking through that DWA. You don't stop and read. You don't try to work them out. You don't try to think about what you know. We know a whole lot more than what we know. And I know you can be more successful than what we've been. Any questions about it? We got it? All right, 14.
students being chosen for the rapid class? Which orders the students from least likely to most likely receiving in the rapid class?
Good job. All right, so they said order the students from least likely to most likely. Which one is least likely? They don't have Jaden in front, eliminated. Who after Jaden?
Penelope.
Good job. That takes us back to 4th and 5th grade. We're just comparing decimals. But notice how they gave us all these words: least likely, most likely. Some of your classmates would have seen this question and got it wrong by simply putting these in order from least to greatest. So that's what I mean about reading it. Not so much that they hard, because some of them is just previous stuff you don't learn. All right, 15.
Consider the criteria which two-dimensional cross-section can result from it.
Vertically.
Vertically slicing the center from it and to the base into congruent to.
Good job. Two-dimensional, we talking about cross sections. That's where we split them. And then it said vertically. Vertically go which direction? Good job. And then it said apex to its base. So that's slicing up and down. And typically, if I slice up and down, the shape looks like the side. So I'm gonna ask myself, what does the side of the square pyramid look like? A triangle. Good job. So if I slice it from the top to the bottom, if I open it up, it's still gonna look like a what?
Triangle.
Triangle. Good job. All right, number 16 asks us, what is the best estimate of the value of the expression? Before I can find that estimate, what do I need to use or follow?
PEMDAS.
PEMDAS. All right, so what'll be first? Somebody do 4.3, take away 7.8. Negative 3.5. All right. What should we do next? Good job, multiply. You may want to divide out 3/5 first. 3 divided by 5, and then multiply by negative 3.5. Three divided by 5. Multiplied by negative 3.5. All right, and then if I'm looking at 2, somebody tell us what 1/9 is as a decimal. 0.1 repeated. So now I have negative 2.1 plus 2.1. What is that going to give me? Zala, you saying something over here.
4.2.
They're opposites. Somebody said 4.2. That's not 4.2. They are opposites. That's a negative 2.1 and a positive 2.1. Pay attention to these signs. One wrong sign, I get the wrong what? Yes, you got to read with sign. I'm not sure which one was 0. It's C. So make sure when these integers, y'all are reading with the sign in front of it. Any questions about it? Everybody got what you need? All right, 17.
The amount of chocolate y is proportional to the amount of chocolate purchased. Eggs is 2 pounds of chocolate cost $15. What is the constant of possibility for the
Constant of proportionality. That's all right. Constant of proportionality. Anybody remember what we do? What's it called? How we maneuver? All right, notice what they gave us. They said 2 pounds is equal to $16. For those of us who do not know, that constant of proportionality is like the unit rate. Unit rate is the amount for how much? Unit rate, unit. How many?
One.
So the constant of proportionality is the same as the unit rate that you learned over there in 6th grade. So they told me 2 pounds cost $16. How much does 1 pound cost?
8.
Good job. Constant of proportionality is the same thing as the unit rate. Figure out how much for one of them. Everybody got what you need? All right, 18. All right, before we even look at what will be unique, somebody tell us characteristics of a triangle. Keep going.
180 degrees.
Be more specific when y'all say 180, because a lot of us like to confuse it with side links as well. So 3 angles must add to 180. What's our second rule?
The first 2 angles must be greater than the third angle. Side length.
Angle is the side links. So the sum of the 2 smallest sides must be greater than the longest side. 2 rules of triangles, and we always confuse the 2. Only thing, the one we know is add the 180, and then we try to do the same thing with side links, and it just don't work. All right, so A and B did give us angles. A, add them up. Huh? 110.
10.
100 plus 80 plus 30? Oh, okay, I'm trying to see what you're talking about. 110. Did they give us a triangle if it added up to 210? That's not even a triangle. Well, we can keep it. Let's keep it. I'm going to keep it. Because I heard you over there, Cedric. I'm put what he said. He said there's more. We might need it in a few. All right, looking at B, we got angles again. Add them up. 180. So we know there's definitely at least one triangle. All right, looking at C. That's the one where we use for the sides. So the 2 smallest sides must be larger than the longest. What are the 2 smallest sides in 15? I mean in C. 15 plus 21? Is 36 greater than 30? All right, so we know that makes at least one triangle. All right, looking at the bottom, what's the 2 longest sides? 2 shortest sides. Yes, I said it backwards. Add them up. Greater than 31. So that means that's a triangle. With this one being the side length and that worked, we can only get that one triangle. Let me spell wrong. So if they give us the side lengths and it work out, that's one triangle. So I know that will not be unique. All right, the second one added up to 180, and then the 8 added up to 210. Which one would give us a unique triangle? All right, looking at B, 180. Do I know my side length? So that means my side lengths and your side lengths, would it be the same or different? So is that just one generic triangle? Good job. It's unique. And it's unique because we don't know the side links. So that means we can make however many triangles we want just from those angle measurements. I can make a small one. I can make a big one. We just don't know the side links. A won't work because they gave us more than what we need. Now, if they would have said more than one triangle, Cedric, we would have went with A, because we can make several into that one. All right, looking at 19. What we doing? Find the value. So that means I need to type it in the exact same way I see it. So type in 4.6 plus a negative 7.28. What you got? $4.6 plus a negative 7.28. Your calculator got a negative symbol. Positive.
Negative 13.85.
And why is it negative? Which number is largest? And 7 is what? So that means my 2 point, whatever y'all telling me, is negative. Somebody said they said it. We had 13s and some of everything. So that's why I tell us we got to read it with the sign. So now take that negative 2.68 you got and just hit minus 11.17. Good job. That's a question that would have had so many different answers from all those signs. And that goes to show this piece right here. That's why I say type it in the exact same way they got it. They got a plus, and then I'm going to do my negative 7.28. If I miss anything, it's going to cause me to get a different answer. Any questions about it? Everybody got what you need? $20. Good job, thank you, man. So they gave us the expression that represents it, and then they told us we want to find another expression. What we need to do with this expression? No, I ain't gonna do that because they ain't got no answers down here. What is that called? That is descriptive property. What's 4 times 2.6? I mean, A and B are 10. And then do 4 times 35.
140.
Good job.